Hello, everyone. This is an edition of The Right Path. Today's subject is don't overthink things. That's a hard one, guys, because of the way how fast-paced society is, and all the comparisons and things that you can, like for instance, you can get online on the internet, on Facebook and Twitter and all that, and you compare yourself to other people, and a lot of people unfortunately overthink things. I've been guilty of that a good part of my life. Overthinking things, worrying too much, having anxiety, having fear, having doubt, depression. I believe these are all things that people go through in life. I spoke with a really wise woman earlier today, and she talked about not overthinking things, accepting what God has put in front of you, but don't overthink things and think that there's worse things to come. I've talked about in my other videos about the storm, how God puts a storm in your life, and He has a reason for the storm. Well, when God puts a storm in your life, it's kind of best not to overthink things. Sometimes things are a simple fix. Sometimes things are really difficult. But when you overthink things, you unfortunately don't take the steps that God is leading you to take. For the last 8 years of my life, maybe longer, I've been avoiding taking certain steps in my life. I've overthought things a lot, and you really don't need to do that. You really just need to kind of sit back and enjoy life. I overthought things and thought I wasn't a good enough father. I overthought things and didn't think I was a good enough husband or son. I used to think that I had to give my kids the world, and that's what makes life better, materialistic things. I used to think when I was involved in a church that I had to be involved in absolutely everything. And really, God just wants you to go to there to worship. If He leads you to be more involved in the church, He'll show you where you're supposed to be involved. You just don't need to overthink things. God really does have a plan. It's just very, very, very important not to overthink things. Whether it be your home life, whether it be your job, whether it be your children, just anything in your life. You can spend all the time in the world worrying and worrying and worrying, or you could simply just enjoy the life that God has put in before you. I'm not trying to lecture anybody, but I have realized, especially recently, after what God's done for me in my life, and after He woke me up, basically. And I know a lot of people don't believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. And for you that don't, I pray that God opens your eyes and shows you His grace and how good He really is. You don't always have to be a leader. Like a good pastor I talked to yesterday told me, sometimes it's okay to be a follower. I have a lot of leadership qualities, but in this chapter of my life that I'm entering into, I think it'd be best if I was a follower and not a leader. And that doesn't mean that you can't achieve great things. It just means sometimes you have to step back and let God's will be. I know that's really hard for people, especially people that have not actually seen the grace of God. But I have. I've seen what he can do for you, you know. I've had a silent prayer that I've been praying that I haven't been told anybody for about a year now. And it was very painful and very scary. But God answered my prayers. He just did it in a way that I just didn't even imagine he would answer my prayer in the way he did. I didn't understand what was going on at the time. But he had a reason for the storm he put in my life. So I guess what I'm saying is, no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how smart you think you are, don't overthink things. Let God's will be done. This has been The Right Path. Have a blessed evening, everyone.